Okay. All right. Gotcha. Sorry. So like I said, first of all, I'm not a financial advisor. Okay. So I am somebody who is so passionate about today, about financial planning, because I've understood how much it is worth in today's time. And, I just want to share a quick story because this was my wake up call. And unfortunately, it was not a very pleasant story and not a nice story. So my background a little bit is, I studied in Delhi, like Hamala introduced. I studied in Delhi. I did my education. I worked in 10 years in different corporate fields. I was in education field. I was in media and lifestyle. I was in travel and tourism. So I did a hell lot of things. Okay. I was living my life. My career was great, working with the great clients, traveling the world, all fancy and stuff. Everything was great. One really defining moment of my life happened when one of my closest friends at that point of time gave me a call and said, my mom is in the hospital and I don't know if she can make it. And that was like, and I was quite close to, her mom as well. And that's literally like, I felt so bad and I rushed to the hospital and I saw what the hell is happening. So her mother had basically an attack, and it was like a heart attack. And the hospitals are so exorbitant today. How many of you know what is the cost of healthcare today? Can you say yes, no? Where is the chat now? Is there a chat somewhere? Can I access the chat? Okay, somehow I've forgotten how to use Zoom. All right. Anyway, so so that was a moment wherein I rushed to the hospital, and then we needed so much amount of money just to get her at ICU. Every single night we had to fish about 50,000 rupees just to get her in the ICU, and we needed a lot more for operation, for her surgery. And then we couldn't really get the funds. We did crowdfunding, we did everything possible that we could, and eventually after 2 weeks we lost her. We couldn't save her just because we did not have the funds to save her. And that was like, this was 4 years ago, and I still feel so strongly this emotion because I felt like that was not fair just because, the person, and my friend was broke, was absolutely broke, did not have a health insurance, did not have savings, did not have investments, did have nothing of that sort. And neither did I have much. Like I had some savings, but I didn't have much, and I couldn't really contribute to the level I wanted to contribute. And that was like a wake-up call for me. And then I looked back, I took a hard look on my life, and I thought, what the hell am I doing? Like 10 years I've been in corporate, I have a good salary, I do everything, like I have everything that I need, but where is my money going, right? So that's what was my wake-up call. And all of you, this is a small bunch of people. I think this is a very young group of people. It's all the more important for you to listen to this because we don't know what is coming our way, and I don't want any one of you to get a wake-up call like the way I did, right? So I just want to quickly also understand what is the background here. Are you professionals, working professionals, entrepreneurs, students? What is it? Can you type in the chat quickly so that I know whom I'm talking to? I wish I could like access the chat. Why can't I access the chat? I really want to know. What do I do? It's like my screen has frozen. Okay, hold on here. Okay, so let's see. This is the virtual world, right? Now, since we can't see much, I have to okay, we have working professional, we have a job seeker, we have a student, we have more students, we have someone in business. Okay, perfect. And so we have very diverse mix. Okay. So this topic is going to be interesting to all of you. And what I really want to show with you guys is this. So I, as a coach, okay, this is my mantra. I live by this quotation that I've put here today. Give a man a fish and he will eat for a day, but teach a man to fish and he will eat for a lifetime. So what does that mean? Have you heard this quote? Say yes, type yes quickly if you can, so that I can just read. If you've heard this quote, I think this is a very powerful quote, and I live by this because I want to educate people and I want to empower you today. I just don't want to give it on the plate and say, okay, just eat it. I want to empower you so that you know how you can move forward. So today I'm going to teach you how to think rather than what to think. How to think is much more important, much more powerful than what to think. So I'll give you directions. I'm going to talk about 10 important things that I wish I knew earlier about money, which I learned the hard way. These are the mistakes I've made. These are the things that I had no idea. Even in 10 years corporate experience, I thought I was like done, being there, done all, and I knew nothing about wealth creation, nothing about financial planning. So here are the 10 important things. And I want each and every one of you to start making notes, because I'm going to go really quickly. I'm like this because I have such limited time. So please make notes so that you know you can always refer back. So here are the 10 important things that I want you to be aware of starting now. Number one is the cost of inflation. This is where people lose out. How many of you have money in your savings account? Say, if you have money in your savings account, type savings. How many of you have money in your savings account? If you have money in your savings account, the hard truth is that you're actually losing money today. You know, this is a very traditional mindset. My dad used to say, put money in the bank, put money in the bank, put money in the bank. But you know, if you put money in the bank, you're actually losing money, because there's something that you have to be aware of. It's called the cost of inflation. Okay. Every year, our economy is, you know, there is an inflation that's going on. Average is about 3 to 4%. Off late, it has been higher. It is even going to 5 to 6%. So the cost of inflation is something that you have to evaluate, because end of the day, today, your savings account is giving you how much? It's not more than 2.75%. I just got an email a couple of months ago, and they're reducing the interest rates. So you're actually technically losing money year on year. So you have to understand all these things. So one is cost of inflation. Second is difference between assets and liabilities. Okay, I'm a commerce background. I have been this person who has, you know, done these financial statements and things like that. But in reality, your difference between assets and liabilities is very different in real life, honestly. So I want to put a simple definition for your asset and liabilities. Okay, what is an asset? Now think very simplified. Asset is anything that would put money in your pocket. And liability is something that will take money out of your pocket. I hope everyone is still there. Because I have no idea where everyone is. So can you put a yes quickly? Yes, if you're following, or just say following if you are, so that I know I'm still online. Okay. So asset is something that puts money in your pocket. When I was growing up, I was told house is an asset. When I was growing up, I was told a car is an asset. I'm this very typical ambitious person. So, you know, my goals was like, I will start to work, and then before the age of 25, I am going to own a car. Before the age of 30, I am going to own a house. And I did exactly that. Okay. But I regret it. Do you know why? Because your house is not an asset. The house that you live in, you think like that. The house that you live in is not an asset. Why? Because when you live in the house, there is no rental income coming in. There's so many expenses for the house. Sometimes you have to do, you know, whitewashing. There has to be maintenance. You have to pay insurance. You have to pay property tax. You have to pay electricity bill, water bill. There's so many things that is taking money out of your pocket. So the house that you live in is not your asset. Okay. Secondly, your car. The car that you drive, no matter how fancy car you drive, whether it's Mercedes or BMW, I don't care. Do you know this? The moment the car steps out of the showroom, you buy a brand new Mercedes, it steps out of the showroom, and within 10 minutes, if you try to sell it to someone else, flat 10% depreciation will be deducted. 10%. That means if it's a 50 lakh car, straight 5 lakhs gone in the air, right? So these are depreciating assets, right? They have no value they have very less value when you try to go and sell it. So there's a difference between assets and liabilities. So you need to understand the difference. Where are you really putting in your money? Is it really an asset or is it a liability? Your house and your car can be an asset if you make rental income out of it. If you can put it on if you buy a house and put it on rent, if you buy a car and let's say put it on Uber or a taxi, things like that. And if it's generating revenue, which is higher than the cost that you're bearing, then that is your asset, right? So I hope that is like I just want to give you these snapshots because so that you can start, I want you, like I said, I want to teach you how to think. So this is just an introduction that food for thought that I want to give you so that you can explore more and learn more. Third thing I want to talk about is, which I didn't realize also, is a good debt and a bad debt. Growing up, I was also told, don't take debts, don't take loans. Loans are not good. Things like that, right? So I was very scared of taking loans, right? But then I realized over the time, then a lot of rich people take debt. Okay, a lot of rich people have made their money, have built their businesses, have bought real estate on debt. Okay, but there's a good kind of a debt. So there are two kinds of debt: good debt and bad debt. Now, what are these good debt? Good debt is something which that the loan or the debt that you take today for that will give you a result in the future. It could be like, for example, education. It could be starting some kind of business. It could be investing in real estate, or you're just investing in stocks or shares. So these are the good debts that you can take. What are the bad debts? And this is where majority of people get stuck at bad debt. Credit card. Oh my God. Credit card is a bad debt. Now, I'm not saying don't use credit card. I'm a big believer of credit cards. I love credit cards, okay? But the credit card debt, if you get into, that will be a nightmare because it is super high. The interest rate is super high, and the interest goes on the compounding interest style. And I'll tell you what compounding interest is in a while, okay? So there has to be good debt and bad debt. So you have to understand what debt you are taking. Coming back to the fourth topic, and this is a very powerful topic, okay? Listen to this clearly. It's called the power of compound interest. I've studied commerce all my life. I've done MBA for that matter. I never really understood what compound interest was. So 4 years ago, when I really did my research, I understood, did you know Einstein said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world? How many of you know what compound interest is? Please write compound. Type compound right now. If you understand what the power of compound interest is, please type compound right now. So I'm going to break this myth to you. Okay, I'm going to explain this concept to you. Compound interest is an interest that multiplies rapidly than you can ever imagine in your life. Now, I'm not going to get into calculation because it's quite technical and I don't know the calculation myself. But I realized that so far, I had been investing into things which has, how much interest is, 8%, okay. Okay, how much interest is, 9%. I just was happy with the interest rate, right? But I didn't know there's something called simple interest and compound interest. Now, simple interest is something that is fixed all the year, or fixed all the time. For example, if you have let's say 1,000 rupees that you're investing today, okay, 1,000 rupees investing today, and what will be the 10% of 1,000? It's about rupees 100. So month on month, you will get a simple interest of 100. So even if you invest for 10 years, you will keep getting 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. That's simple interest, okay? But compounding interest works in a very different way. What compounding interest does is, when you invest 1,000 rupees today, okay, and they say the compounding interest is 10%, so you would start with 100 first, but the next time you invest in, it will combine the principal and the interest together. So that your interest every time will include the interest and the principal together. Okay, I don't know if this is making sense to you or not. Please do some research on compound interest. You will know what I'm talking about. And I have this chart in front of you quickly, just to show you. Oh God, I can't move the cursor again. So this chart that can you see the chart in front of you? Compound interest. So 1,000. So let's say somebody has invested $1,000 as principal, okay, and done nothing. So zero at the year zero, 1,000 rupees as a principal, and then the interest starts to go at 10%. So this red portion that you see over a period of 20 years, now this is over a period of 20 years, the red portion that you see is a simple interest, no compounding. But the green portion is with compounding, the interest that you're going to get with compounding. And here, this is where I think the year 4, if you see the year 4 carefully, this is where the gain starts to change because it starts to multiply rapidly when it comes to compounding. So end of the day, even if you don't understand calculation, that is totally fine, doesn't matter. You have to remember that wherever you invest, you always have to determine whether it's a compound interest or simple interest. always go for compounding interest, okay? And the trick is to invest early. So if you are a student today, great opportunity, guys. You're so lucky. I wish somebody would have told me back then. You've got to start investing today in anything that is giving you compounding, okay? Because what you're going to make as you're 18 or 19 or 20, compared to your 30 or 40, you're going to make a lot more in the long run. Okay, I hope this is making sense. Okay, so this is the power of compound interest, and I'm gonna go more into specifics, but I want to give you some mindsets today. All right, the fifth point I want to really talk about is invest direct into market. I have been investing into market, but I was, so dependent on these agents, these financial advisors, who even lost money for me one time. I hated him for that. So then after that, I'm like, I'm going to take over now. Okay, I'm going to learn this. So the reason why I'm telling you avoid investing with banks and financial advisors is because they charge really high commission over a period of time, which I didn't even realize, by the way. Why? Because when you go direct into the market, the expense ratio is about 0.2. But when you go with these banks and financial advisors, they charge about up to 2% of commission. Now, some of you might be like, oh, 2%, not a big deal. It is a huge deal when it comes to compounding. Okay, because over a period of 10 years, 20 years, that figure, that 2% can go into lakhs easily. Okay, so you have to be very careful. End of the day, you might be losing a lot of money if you go with these banks and financial advisors. So that's something that I stopped. I did it for years. After I understood what I was making a mistake, I decided to withdraw. Okay, perfect. Now, this is something could be new for some people. Remove false negative beliefs about money. We all have certain beliefs, and this is my favorite topic because this is where I'm very powerful as a coach. Okay, I'm just trying to praise myself, but that's true. We all have certain beliefs. What are these beliefs? These beliefs are the perceptions that we have for things. Perception about yourself, perception about the world. When a baby is born, the baby doesn't have beliefs. Baby just comes with an empty slate, right? But then over the time, it gets influenced by your parents, by his, society, school, friends. Everyone starts to feed some kind of belief system in your head. Women should be this way, a girl should be this way, a man should be this way. These are all kind of things that we keep on talking about. So certain beliefs are also there about money. What do you think about money? What have you been taught about money? And some beliefs are positive, but some are negative as well. And I've given you some examples of negative beliefs. Check if it applies to you. And just type down this four examples I gave you, or you type down anything that's negative to you. Quickly. That way I know you guys you're listening to me. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just talking to my laptop here. Okay. So for me, like, money is root of all evil. Have you heard of this? Rich people are corrupt people. Oh my God, you have no idea how much I heard this growing up. Rich people are corrupt people. Entrepreneurs, businessmen are corrupt people. Ambani and all these people are corrupt people. And, and this is a belief which cannot be, further from the truth, because today entrepreneurs are the ones who are changing the world. Look at Bill Gates, look at Mark Zuckerberg, look at Elon Musk. So all these people are the visionaries who are changing the world. So these beliefs are not really the right beliefs. Money makes people greedy. To make money is hard. And to make money is hard, And for me, I've struggled with this one the most, and I continue to struggle with this because, I grew up in an environment where we had so much of scarcity of money. And my dad was always like very scared of losing money. And he made sure that all of us were like very particular about money. So for me, it's like money is hard, but it doesn't have to be. So, the reason why I'm talking about this, because the perception that you have about money will define how far you can plan and grow your money. Imagine if you think money is the root of all evil. Do you really want to grow money, or you want to stay away from money? You will be staying away from money, right? Somebody has said that money is happiness. That's a question mark. Is that a belief or is that a question? I want a clarity on that. What is that? Is that your belief that money is happiness? I think that's a positive belief. It's not a negative belief. Money is happiness. Yeah, money can be happiness. Money is not everything for me now, but money is a lot of things. Like it is freedom. Money for me is convenience. Money for me is comfort. Money for me is ability to do whatever I want to do, you know. So, so, so it's very essential to understand these false limiting beliefs about money. Why, when I say limiting beliefs, is because it will limit you to do anything better. It will limit you into your full potential. Okay, so you have to identify and you have to work on this. You have to change on this. 7th point, think long term in your purchases. I think this is where a lot of people go wrong, including me, that I have done in the past. I have bought things to impress people. I am addicted to shopping. I'm addicted to, first I used to go to the malls. And then when these online shopping started to happen, then I was addicted to online shopping, right? So I wanted clothes and like shoes and bags and things like that. And I know like I was doing a lot to like, I don't know about impress people, but yeah, I mean, just a feel good factor about that. But like I said, these are liabilities. They get you nothing when you have to, when you have to sell them, you get really literally nothing out of it. So you have to, now I've been smart. Now I think about where should I purchase? Now I think about long term. When I put money into something, what is it that I'm going to get out of it in the long term? So things that can help you in the long run. Example, I invest a lot in my personal coaching. I have gotten coached to various mentors because I wanted to be this person here today and I want to evolve into a better person even more. So I invest a lot in my personal growth programs, in books, in tools and equipment that will be useful for career or business. That is so important. You have to upgrade your, tools and equipment, or you can invest in, you can buy things which is related to real estate, that's investment, or gold, or starting a new business, etc. Right? And when it comes to buying technology nowadays, I am so like, because I know technology again doesn't have a resale value, a proper resale value. So I'm very okay to buy secondhand items. Even if I go for a phone, if I want to go for next like iPhone or something, I know they're expensive. I will always go for a downgrade, or I will go for a secondhand. My iPad is secondhand. My iPhones have been secondhand. Laptops have been secondhand. So I'm totally okay as long as they're in working condition. I mean, who is to see, right? So this way you can save money and put in the right place. I hope this is making sense. Come on, guys. Are you still there? Anyone there? Hello? If you're there, say yes, thumbs up, whatever. Half the things I can't even see, I feel. All the cameras are off again. All right. Point number 8. I want everyone to talk more about money. This is a point which is very, this is coming from my heart, okay? Because when I grew up in an environment, the only thing that I, saw from my father, especially my parents, is that they were always, fighting about money. And for growing up, money became such a scary subject to me because every time somebody would say money, in my head, I was like, okay, now something's going to go wrong. There was so much of fear and I was scared about it. But I'm still scared about it, to be honest. I'm still scared of, talking about money. But you know what? Dar ke aage jeet hai, So I face my fears and I do more of them. I've started to educate myself on different investment options because we're all in different stages of our life. So we have different requirements. So you have to educate yourself. Don't be afraid of learning more. And today that you're here, thank you so much for being here. This is the step number 1. From here, I want to push you, I want to empower you to really go out because the world is filled with information. Everything is online today, right? I mean, you search, you can get everything online. You don't need any mentors anymore, right? So educate yourself. If you are in a relationship, if you're married, especially, oh my God, this is a huge, because I've seen my parents bickering about money all the time. Guys, this is such a deal breaker for many families. You have to be transparent. You have to be understanding between partners. That is such an important point. Talk more about money. Don't be scared to learn more. Nothing is rocket science. If I can learn, so everyone can learn. All right, perfect. And how do I go? Okay. Okay, point number 9. Like I said, get a good health care plan. This is so critical today. No, it's non-negotiable. If you're not covered by a good health plan, you would look like this lady in the picture, because I know this is the lady that I was 4 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God, what just happened to me? And this is like not worth it. So you have to have a proper healthcare insurance unless you want to be bankrupt, unless seriously you want to be bankrupt, because I almost went bankrupt. point number 10, last but not the least, you've got to start planning for retirement now. Now. Don't think you're too young. Oh, I'm just a student. I'm this and that. I would really at least start researching and understanding about retirement. Because what is retirement? Retirement is a phase where you don't have to work anymore and you can enjoy the life as you want to, right? So when you don't have a retirement plan, you will have to continuously keep working even when you're old, and that is horrible. And you know what? The unfortunate research says that only 33% in India are planning for retirement. And this statistic is very true for the rest of the world as well. Only 33%. And that means 77% people are doing what? They're waiting for, they're depending on their children, maybe. Hopefully nowadays children are like, some take care, some don't take care. I mean, it's a choice, right? So they're depending on the children, or they're depending on some other facility, depending on the government. And this, I'm saying stop depending on anybody. Start planning today. Okay. And I would, some of the good options are here. The NPS scheme is pretty good. Okay. That's by the government scheme. I'll talk about a little more ahead. And long-term mutual funds, public provident fund, I'll talk about it more in detail. Somebody has asked me something. Recommend long-term mutual funds. Where is this chat going now? Oh, long-term mutual fund for a kid who is 10 years old. Okay, you know what? Like I said, Tenzing, like I said, I am going to teach you how to think. I'm not going to teach you what to think. That is something you'll have to decide. But hold on, hold your horses. I have more details. I'll give you platforms. Okay, I'll give you platforms on where you can do research so that you will have an understanding. All right. Okay, but great question. I like where you're going. Okay, so start planning. So here are the 10 things which I wish I knew earlier. Okay, I would have started way earlier in my early 20s, but unfortunately I started in my 30s. So I'm late, by the way. So if you're in your 20s, come on guys, do it fast, okay? And okay, so here are some basic planning to be done. All right, what are the basic planning? Must have, non-negotiable elements. Just two policies. One is a life insurance policy, okay, and one is a health insurance policy. Now, life insurance policy, why do you need it? Because this is a protection for your family, especially if you're married and you have kids and things like that. Oh my God, I mean, you have to protect your family. There's no other choice, right? So again, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I have done personally is that I've taken a policy which covers at least 10 to 15 times the annual income. And that's what the experts really suggest. I took up these insurance policies long time ago. I didn't really think much, honestly. I only used to do investments before because it was tax deductible. The only concern I had was to save my tax, you know. I'm like, I'm not going to pay to the government that much. So that's how I took up life insurance policy, okay? But you definitely needed at least one policy you needed. Health insurance policy, very, very important to save yourself from any kind of disasters or bankruptcy. Two things which are very important, health insurance policy. Again, you know, when we buy something, we tend to be so dependent. I want everyone to take ownership, read the terms and conditions, look for maximum coverage. Health insurance also have so many of these tiny, tiny things, you know, they would cover maybe, they will cover the, let's say the ICU. If you get admitted to the ICU, they will cover that, but they might not cover the daycare treatments. So there's so many, you know, aspects about it. So I want you to be like equipped. You can read about it. There's so many information online. I've just put a link here just for your understanding. And you know, there's so many. And second thing, which is very important, I think, for health insurance is cashless treatment. What does that mean is that you don't have to put in 1 rupee out of your pocket when you get sick or someone in your family gets sick. The insurance takes care of it directly with the hospital. Because if this is not cashless, imagine if you have a bill of 20 lakhs or 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs, and can easily go to crores. It's not surprising today. Imagine if you have to pay it from your pocket first and then later claim. It's going to be an absolute nightmare, right? Because we don't carry so much of money in our pocket, right? So these are the two must-haves. I hope it makes sense. Put in a thumbs up if you can. So must-have life insurance and health insurance. And then second is, now, once you're protected, once you've protected your family, now let's go to the saving options. What are the two? My favorite saving options are PPF, like I said, public provident fund, and NPS, which is National Pension Scheme, which is your retirement fund. Okay. Now, PPF I like because number one, it's backed by the government. So there is absolute solid security because backed by the government. Okay. It's for 15 days, 15 years duration. You can easily start with like 500 rupees. Okay. And you can go up to whatever, there's no limit. And the best thing is it's compounding interest. Okay. So if you remember what I just explained about the power of compounding interest, it has a compounding interest here. And so this is like the beginner's safest option that you want to explore. So if you haven't done anything, maybe you can just start here. Okay. Second thing is, like I said, retirement fund. For me, I've started NPS, which is again backed by the government, and it has compounding interest of 8 to 10%. But here the trick is that it is marked, it's linked to the market. Okay. So what NPS does is it takes your money and it puts in the market, and they play the game of growing money, which is even great because I'm a believer in the market, and I'll tell you why. So I started last year only, unfortunately. I wish I would have done earlier. And the kind of returns that I'm already getting is phenomenal. So you must start NPS as well because it's so safe and it has amazing returns. And both of these options are tax deductible. So if you're paying tax, you can easily have an exempt under ATC. Okay. All right. Nobody's putting anything, chat. Is it making sense? No sense? Somebody's raising hand. Okay, I don't know how to do that. Okay, we'll take a Q&A right in the end. You can just put it in the chat. All right, now this is where it gets the most exciting because I'm all about creating wealth now. I'm not just about savings and, all that. I want to create wealth so that I can be financially free before I'm like old and I can't walk anymore. So I want to live my life, guys. Who wants to live their life? Come on. Thumbs up, yes, no, who want to live their life, retire young, not retire old. Yo, yay. Okay. So one of the great options is investing in the stock market, long-term wealth creation, okay? However, through direct mutual funds, you remember how much these financial advisors eat your money over the time? So you have to go to direct mutual funds. And the reason why I say mutual funds is because if you have no knowledge about stock market, if you have no knowledge about mutual funds, if you have no idea about anything that's related to market, just pick up a mutual fund and go with it. Okay. Now, somebody asked me what mutual fund for absolute beginners. Okay. First of all, let me share what I do normally. Okay. Because I'm somebody who wants everything very simplified, something just straightforward. I don't have to like too much of, dimag nahi kharab karna hai mujhe apna. I don't want to break my brain. So I use this app called ET app, and thanks to this ET app, it has made it so convenient to invest now because they're gone are those days where you had to again look for an advisor and create these DMATs and all this thing. Now nothing to be done. You just have to download this. Wait, I have. Hold on. Where is? Sorry. I just wanted to share something. Hold on. What is this coming? Who is texting me? Oh, somebody is trying to enter the webinar and saying the link is not working. I don't know what to do now. Okay. I want to recommend this app to you, and I want to send this. I don't know why this is not coming to me. Okay, guys, hold on. Please be patient with me. Okay, I seriously want. Oh, there it is. What am I doing? I want to share this link with you so that you have the access to whatever I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about. Where did my. What happened? Where is my Zoom? I lost my Zoom now. Oh man, sharing is paused. Please bring. Where? Okay. Whew. Okay, got it. Sorry. So what I want to really send you information here so that you have the power to do what I am doing currently. And I'm going to give you all life examples because, Your life is your best teacher, right? So I have this link that I have given. If you press on this link, you will be directed to this app called ET Money, which is on the screen as well. Now, why I like ET Money is because it gives you the listing of all the mutual funds under one roof, okay? It gives you clear description and portfolio details or whatever that you want. It has a very low expense ratio, as low as 0.1, 0.2, which is really negligible compared to the 2% that we give to the banks and other places. Returns calculator is interesting. So you can even select a mutual fund before you start investing. You can do your research on it and you can check, within 5 years, if I put, let's say, 10,000 rupees a month or a lakh rupees a year, how much return is expected? Okay, so there is a projected returns calculator online that you can check yourself. I really enjoy that. And then they also have recommendations, they have suggestions, they have blogs, videos to learn more about different investments. So there's so much of learning. Whenever I have time, I sit on it and I try to understand what different mutual funds are doing, how they're performing. So it's a thing to research about. So again, today I'd like to remind you, I want to teach you how to think. So how you think is when you go and do your research. But ET Money, if you click on this link, it will take you to the link to the app, and you can download and proceed. But you also have to do your KYC. That is so important. Okay, KYC is know your customer. So there's things like you have to, connect your bank account. You have to put in your Aadhaar card and PAN card and things like that, which is like mandatory for any bank related process. So that's KYC that you have to do. Okay, so like I said, if you are an absolute beginner, my friend, my best suggestion to you is choose index fund or Nifty 50 mutual funds. Index funds. This is how Warren Buffett made his wealth. Warren Buffett did a lot of trading and he did make money out of this, but this is where he made majority of the money in the long run, by the way. So what is index fund? Why is this? Because this is today the safest mutual fund that you can actually find. Why? Because it tracks the economy growth, okay? And in the long period of time, if you notice, our economy is growing. Sometimes it might go down because when the pandemic went down, it can go down, but over a long period of time, it will go up. So Nifty 50 is nothing but a collection of top 50 companies in India. Okay, top 50 companies. So you can talk about Reliance, you talk about Tata's, you talk about all the big companies that you have. You're actually putting your money investing in them. And if they do well, you will do well as well. So, and they are doing well. And that is the reason why the economy is doing well, because they are the drivers of the economy. So you're actually putting money. So when I started this 2 years ago, when I started this, I chose this HDFC index fund. Now this is my real life snapshot. I took the snapshot on 4th of October, right? So it's very, very recent. And so what I do is I put an SIP of 10,000 every month. So over a period of time, it has got collected. So today, if you see my current investment up to 4th of October is 2,29,000, right? And see my unrealized gain, which is my gain that I've made out of the profit. It's already about 98,000. It's a very good return, which in your savings account can never give you, which your fixed deposit, oh my God, stay away from fixed deposits, okay, by the way. Your recurring deposits, stay away from it, okay? These are the deposits that is just you're going to lose money in them, not make money. So you've got to understand. So I wanted to show you these I'm showing my personal portfolio to you guys. I mean, that's a huge deal, right? Who shows you the real portfolio? But I wanted to show you just to prove you that I'm doing what I'm speaking. So this is interesting, and always, like I said, whenever you invest in mutual fund, you've got to go direct growth plan, not regular growth plan. Can you send this link to the person asking for the link? Oh my God, we're almost end of the presentation. I don't even think that person will make any sense now. I think we just skip it now. And so what I'm saying is this. So what's the saying? So go for direct and not regular, because regular is where these agents come in between and they will start eating your commission again. So direct, always remember. All right, perfect. So if an absolute beginner, start with index fund. Aag band karo, paisa dalo, forget about it. Just put an SIP, do an auto debit, and keep it for at least 10 years, 20 years, 30, I don't know, whatever time you want to keep it. This can be your easy corpus for your child's education, for your retirement, whatever you want to, for your world tour, holiday, whatever you're looking for. This can be an easy corpus to begin with. Okay, perfect. Now, once you're familiar with this platform, you can also diversify over the time. Okay, so this year I was like, okay, let me diversify and get some new portfolios. I just did some new portfolios like Quant Tax Plan, Mire Access, Access Blue Chip, Mire Assets, sorry. And these are Quant Plan is ELSS. Now ELSS is basically an equity linked savings scheme. So this is the only mutual fund. ELSS is the only mutual fund that also gives you the tax benefit. I think somewhere I'm obsessed with not giving taxes. So you have this tax benefit with ELSS, but with ELSS, there is also lock-in of 3 years. Whereas in mutual funds, the other kind of mutual funds, it's instant. Tomorrow, if you don't like it, you want to take it out, you can just take it out. There's no lock-in period at all. So, so I realized that because I was playing around with other portfolios as well, Quant is doing pretty well for me. Mire is also doing, Blue Chip is also doing. So overall, if you see the annualized return, if you see, you can see the number 41%, 67%. These are very good numbers. And right now the market is all-time high for sure. But there will be times when these markets can crash as well, okay? Which comes to my final slide. Important to note that mutual funds are subject to market risk. This is a line that comes with every mutual fund is subject to market risk. They always talk about this line. What does that mean? It means that it is related to stock market. And if the stock market does well, your fund price will go up. If the stock market goes down, the fund price is going down. Last year in 2020 pandemic, what happened? Who remembers? The stock market went crashing. I think it dropped to about like 20,000 points or something. Now, right now it's at 60 or something. It's gone really up. Now, the good thing is people get, this is where the paranoia comes. Because the moment the stock starts to go down, people are like, oh my God, I'm losing money. I'm not. They start to freak out and they start to sell their stocks, their mutual funds. Don't ever do that, okay? You've got to stick with this game, okay? And you know what? The perception that I had to, because I was the same way, I used to freak out when the markets used to get down. But I now have learned to compare it with gold, okay? Compare it with gold. What do you mean by that? What I mean is, like, for example, if the value of the gold goes down, okay, the value of the gold goes down, would you buy more or would you sell more? What would you write? Come on, put in the comment box quickly. Let me see who's available, who's alive, who's listening. Would you sell gold or would you buy gold if the pricing of the gold goes down? Ching says buy more, buy. Thank God. Stock goes the same exact way. If the mutual fund is decreasing, good, celebrate, buy more, because over the period of time, it's only going to go up. Over the period of time, the market will grow. So crashing is an opportunity. So when last time in pandemic, even this year, early this year, when the stocks were really bad because the second phase and everything, the second phase when it happened, the stocks really crashed again, the market crashed. I took it as an opportunity and I bought more things. I put in more money, and that's how I have more better returns, because then the market now is at the all-time high. So that's where I leverage it. So you've got to understand that now. But the good thing is that you don't have to sit and track every single day. Okay, that's not the game here. That's what traders do, not you. You don't have to do that. You just have to select a mutual fund, put in the money, and sit and relax for a long period of time, at least for minimum 10 years. Don't take it out before 10 years, because if you really want to take out the juice of that investment, it has to be a minimum of 10 years, is what I believe. I totally believe. And last but not the least, the market. Okay, last year average, if you see 10 years of average, if you see, it has given a compounding interest of 13%. Who gives you 13% today? Which fixed deposit, which investment plan gives you 13%? Nobody gives you 13%. So you have got to, I hope this had made sense to you. And I'm open for Q&A now. And these are also my social media handles, my Facebook page, my Instagram, YouTube channel. Well, I am not a financial expert, like I said, not an advisor, but I teach people how to think as a coach, whether it's about, growing your life, it's about growing your career, it's about growing your business. I am the person for that. I'm a strategist because of that, right? And this is just I've been obsessed with personal growth. I've been obsessed with learning more, growing more. So this is how I personally dived into this financial world, even though I was scared about money, even though I didn't understand the numbers. Like I used to be that person with Tare Zameen Par, The moment I see numbers, I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. So now I'm like, face your fears, move on, learn new things. And if I can do it, so can you. So thank you so much for listening to me. Let's open it up for questions now. Yay, can I please have a clap for inspiration, motivation? Thank you.